Because with like numbers don't lie.
Yeah, numbers don't lie. I agree.
Like if you do 1 + 1, the
Yeah,
outcome
it's
will
gonna be
always be
2.
2.
Yeah.
Like the outcome won't change from 2. It's gonna be 2.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
And if you then go into practice tool
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and look at items and runes for champs, and one rune, Conqueror against Hail of Blades,
Halo Blades is
Conqueror is better
trash.
than Hail of Blades. There's no like, you can't argue math. Conqueror gives more value in a short trade and in a long fight.
Alright, hello. Today we're going to be reviewing one of the games I played, running the Conqueror Vi setup. This is the build that the Challenger EU West player he claims to be optimal and mathematically correct. And I'll leave the runes and masteries, or the runes up in the top right here for you, so that you can see. And this player has hit Challenger in EU West, which is really hard to do. EU West is considered to be a harder region than NA. And I'm not a big fan of his playstyle of like playing Bruiser Vi. I've never really been a fan of Bruiser Vi. However, I'm testing it out regardless. And you'll find in this game it went really well, and I might be converted. I might be sold on the idea that Vi is just a bruiser and we should all be playing Vi optimally, and we really shouldn't be. I mean, you can play whatever you want on whatever champion you want to play, but if you really want to climb, this is the build that you want to be using, because it's going to give you the most optimal results. It's going to give you everything that you need. It's going to be very consistent and reliable. So here I'm just going to be doing this reverse clear. I really like to do this clear. It gives me a lot of options. Always gives me lots of options. I can deviate from my clear at my grump when I hit level 3 to gank top lane. I can go towards mid lane after I finish this camp, or I can just clear all the way down and finish my crux. And it's pretty much turns into a full clear. The thing I really like about this clear is if there's any junglers that like to invade you, you kind of counteract them because you immediately go to your blue and grump, clear your top side before they get a chance to level 3 invade you. So I know here Rammus is on this side, so I'm kind of just hovering, waiting to see if he'll gank or not, and if he doesn't, well, he's not really accomplishing much. So I come around, I see him, he's up here. So I just turn on him, expecting my team to follow up. I flash away from the Vira vines just to make sure I don't die. And I Q over the wall, landing on the Rammus. We pick up the kill, we kill the Nyla. And I'm too low to go back in here. There's no reason for me to risk walking into Zyra plants and die. So I just base here. No point of risking my life here. And Soraka risks going in because she saw that she was higher HP, but she ends up dying there. So the correct thing to do here is just go back to my top side and clear downward. My plan was to play for this Ezreal because he's going to be scaling really well. I can't really gank mid lane. It's going to be really hard against the Ahri and with a Kassadin. No setup. I see that there's a skirmish going around top lane, and Maokai's really low, Gragas is really low. I think he might have died if he didn't level up to level 5 when he took that tower shot. I kind of scare him away. The reason why I come here is not really to look for a kill, but I just want to put the lane in a state that's better for Maokai. So we really want to shove this out so Maokai can get a reset, because he doesn't have any TP, right? He can't just TP back to lane if his wave is in a bad state. So now this forces Gragas to stay here. And while he's going up there, I'm just going to grab this crab really quickly. I'm still keeping an eye on this because this is still a potential gank. Still can't really do anything mid lane either. So Maokai just decides to base, as I gave him a nice lane to reset, a nice push to reset off of, so he doesn't lose any minions. That's one thing that makes differentiates from a good jungler to a great jungler. If you're also paying attention to the wave states of your laners, and you even fix them for them in times of need. Like, that was a big thing I did for the Maokai there. Many people don't really see it that way, but it really helps. So here I'm just simply clearing downwards towards my bot lane, who's giving me prio, and it looks like Ari also reset, or she's going somewhere else. And they got a kill on the Zyra, and the Nyla's not in lane. I'm not quite sure what happened there. But here my idea is to look for dragon, a potential dragon here, since I'm getting prio. But because Ezreal goes down here, it's no longer an option. I can't really gank this Ari unless I have ulti. The Rammus really did set up that bot lane nicely to get dragon for himself. So he's doing dragon right now with the Zyra. Zyra can clear dragon really fast. And I'm just a little bit late to getting to bot side before I can set anything up to get dragon. I see this Nyla playing really forward. Like, she shouldn't be hitting tower here. So instead of doing my Krugs, I just go over here and see if I can pick up a kill with my ulti. So she dies right there. There's no way she's allowed to live there. And here I'm just going to shove this in just to try to deny the Nyla. I don't take the whole wave, so the Ezreal doesn't get upset at me. He kind of pinged me there for a little bit. Soraka walks up there foolishly, but she survived because she got heal. She got a burst of movement speed. Ezreal flashes to stop the Rammus. Rammus flashes, and then the Soraka flashes. I tried to land at my Q to hit him, but he flashed just as I was traveling, so my Q did not connect. It's a very nice flash by the Ezreal to save the Soraka there. And it kind of baited the Rammus in, and we got a free kill. So my first buy was the Tiamat. I had enough gold for it, so that's what I opted for because I got that early kill. And now I'm going to build towards the Hydra, spending as much gold as I can. Something I recently learned is it's not the fact of just buying Lucidity Boots first item, because it's a great playmaking item, but just spending my gold efficiently on my backs is an important thing that this challenger Atto in EU West, he was teaching me. He said it's not always just buying boots first time, but whatever amount of money you have, just try to spend as much as you can, just so you're being efficient with the gold. And the Maokai flashes onto Gragas so that I can follow up, but I didn't quite kill him. We didn't quite kill him. My ulti is just about to come off a cooldown. I didn't have E to follow up that last auto on the Gragas, unluckily. They're both very low HP. Rammus decides to stay here. I E onto the Gragas, killing him. I die in return, but it's kind of worth because he gets denied this wave and the Maokai kills the Rammus afterward. I don't think Rammus had to die there, but this is really good for us because it sets the Rammus behind. He can't get as many ganks off, so my team is going to be able to have more time to scale. There's a word in this bush, so the minion stopped his base there. That's a little funny. And the thing I've noticed about this build is you scale so hard into the late game. You really become a menace to the enemy team. And you'll see later, I'm like able to 1v3 people. And it gets really ridiculous. You become a raid boss with this build. It's quite satisfying. It takes some time to ramp up, and there's a few kills that I would have gotten had I been running Electrocute. However, just the potential of Conqueror is really nice. We see some action up in the top lane here. It looks like the Maokai can just chase this Gragas because he's got red buff on him. And I'm just clearing him downward, being efficient with my clearing. And as you can see, when you just become efficient with your clearing, you just start to stack. Your CS lead against the enemy jungler becomes significantly large. You want to make sure that you're efficiently clearing, especially in this season, just because of the way the jungle works in this season. When you get... Okay, I'm coming in for a gank here. She flashes my Q, which is pretty nice. And the Zyra flashes as well. I'm trying to chase her down. I don't quite follow up. But the Ezreal finishes off the Nyla there. Ezreal kills her, but he also goes down himself. This still works out to be a net positive because we get the wave shoved under, and they're going to lose this wave of golden experience. So yeah, as I was saying, about golden efficiency with the way you clear, you especially want to do it this season because you get stacks, and when you complete your jungle item, you become really strong. So look for something here with my Soraka and my Kassadin. However, Ahri has her ultimate. She just ults away. She charms me. She still has flash. It's kind of hard to catch Ahri. That's why I didn't commit to anything early on. It's a Kassadin. He doesn't have any setup. It's really hard to gank an Ahri lane. There's always the chance of you getting charmed under tower and dying. However, we did get her ultimate, which is really nice. And we know that they're doing dragon here. We can see them off of that ward. It's just the Zyra. So we gotta just bully her away. And we're maybe looking for something on the Ahri again. We know she doesn't have ulti anymore. So she flashes. And this is beautiful. I Q in and I E on the minion and kill her. So the reason why that was able to work was actually because of the Soraka. She put her E down on top of the Ahri, so she couldn't really do anything in terms of movement for a while. So then Raka, what she was able to do was silence her, and Kassadin can follow up. And then I just finish it off after she flashed away. Now, the enemy team is committing to getting this tower, and they want to also push it into the second tower. So instead of panicking and trying to fight 2v3 when we're weak, we just decide to go get the dragon. In my opinion, this is kind of a desperate attempt from the enemy team. The Rammus is only playing towards the bot lane, and he's becoming very predictable. It looks like he only wants to play with the bot lane. Gragas is losing top lane, and when he went top lane, he ended up dying and getting the Gragas killed as well. So here I'm just going to cover this lane for the Kassadin. I see that he can make it back to lane quickly, so I just go continue to clear my wolves. Honestly, the best thing you can do for Kassadin is kind of leave him in his lane alone. And when you do that, he gets all of the solo EXP. So he starts to scale really fast. Like as you can see, he's level 11, Ahri's level 10. The only time you really want to gank Kassadin is when you can set up a kill for him, or you're just trying to fix his wave state. I go down here, which is unfortunate. However, my team, I think... Oh no, this does not turn out well for us. We were close to getting the Ahri, but we all go down for this. I thought I had an opportunity here, but it turned out to be a mistake. However, I did have a lot of gold, and I bought myself my Hydra, Lucidity boots, and I'm working towards my Divine Sunderer now. So the enemy team gets both of our tier 2s from mid and bot lane, which is not ideal. However, we're scaling up really strong, and so is the Ezreal and our Kassadin. Like the whole point of this game is just let everyone scale and become monsters. We're all scaling champions. From the Soraka, Ezreal bot lane, to Kassadin mid lane, to the Maokai top lane. Even me, with this build, I mainly scale. I don't really, I'm not that big of an early presence. And you'll see the power of this scaling later on. Max range Q over the wall to secure the Zyra, and the Kassadin kills the Gragas. And as I was saying before, the play that they made bot lane was kind of a desperation play. They have to end the game as fast as possible against our team. Otherwise, they're just going to get outscaled and eventually lose. Our team is very, very strong. There's nothing on the top side for me to do here. Like, there's no available camps to me. So I'm just pushing in this wave, stacking up my Ravenous Hydra, and getting this tower. My team is pushing mid lane. I've got a big bounty on me. I gotta make sure I don't die. Yeah, I know Gragas is coming back, so I just decide to leave here rather than stick around and risk dying, giving another shutdown away. We see them here. I know they're gonna go for this Rift Herald because we're not present to stop them. Like, I can't stop them by myself here. There's no way. This is gonna be 3-on-1, right? Nyla gets really strong. She actually double kills the Kassadin and the Maokai. However, I'm still not worried. I'm really trusting in this build and the potential for me to just solo carry the game, even if my Ezreal and my Kassadin don't play well. And here, my Raka is with me. I'm kind of scared. But here this is the first display of power you're gonna see with this build. I almost one-shot the Zyra. I alter, eventually kill her, and then just Q away. And then I'm gonna get healed up by the Raka, and I'm ready to fight again. So here, I'm just waiting for Ahri to Q over, or ult over, and I'm gonna Q. But she charms me. We get a TP from the Kassadin, and I think we just run them down after this. Kassadin ults in, and I'm just strong enough to go in and fight them here. And we've got a long lane to chase them. Kassadin gets a double here. It'd be really nice if I got that myself, but I mean, it's a Kassadin, right? If you give kills to Kassadin, it's just impending doom on the enemy team's part. And with two members dead of their team, they cannot contest anything. Like, if anyone dies on their team, they become completely incoherent and they can't fight us. And if you see, at this point in the game, the enemy team is still has a gold lead. They still have a gold lead on us. They're still ahead, even though we have more kills. And I pick up the shutdown on the Nyla, the fat shutdown. And that's the tipping point of this game. Like, at this point, the enemy team, there's not really much they can do anymore. Like, I'm gonna fully outscale this Rammus. Kassadin is coming closer and closer to his level 16 power spec. He's level 12 right now. I'm not scared of the Ahri jumping over this wall, because if she does, she'll probably die. Or get really low at the least. I'm just farming my jungle efficiently. And it's given me a massive CS lead. Even compared to my own teammates. Like, Ezreal's close, but not as nearly as close as I am. I'm gonna base. I'm gonna work my way towards a Spirit Visage. And this is gonna give me insane healing, insane shields. It's going to even synergize with my jungle passive. It's going to synergize with my passive alone. And it's going to give me tons of healing with my Ravenous stacked up. It's going to give me MR against 4 champions on the enemy team that are all have MR. It's just an amazing buy here. It's a very situational build idea. Usually you want to build Death's Dance third item. But there's so many reasons to just go for the Spirit Visage here. And we're going to get into a big fight, but we want to get into fights right now. This is when we're strong. And you're going to see here, I can just stand in the midst of 3 people and just fight continuously. And I see Nyla pushing. I want my teammates to go and push mid lane. And I decide to go back. And Maokai sees that I'm backing, so he makes the right decision and just stays with the Soraka and the Kassadin. So I'm capable of stopping the Nyla myself. I don't think the Maokai can do it, but I definitely can. My team is kind of going bananas here. They're going in. And it looks like they can. I mean, the Kassadin is just getting healed up by the Raka, and it makes it really easy. Oops, and I missed this. Hold on, let me go back really quickly. So while that's happening, I'm over here, and Nyla's trying to take my blue buff, and that's not okay. And this is the Fed Nyla. 2 items. She's not nearly as strong as me, though, so she cannot take me down. She's barely even able to get my HP even below 75%. And this is the power of this build. Like, you get so strong, even Fed carries barely deal any damage to you. You just become an absolute monster. Just imagine, like, if you're a Mordekaiser, but you have, like you have a dash. Imagine Mordekaiser with a dash. That's ridiculous. Just jump on top of people and smack them and never die. So as my team is creating chaos in the mid lane, I'm just going to be pushing the side wave. There's no reason for me not to. I don't need to be here. If they end up dying, that's fine. I'm still getting something under the pressure that they're creating. One thing to note, you ought to be careful of your mana. Like, as soon as you start to run out of mana, you kind of have to break away from the fight. And look how careless I am. I just go in and decide to 1v3. And this is what I was talking about in this this build. You're so strong that you can just 1v3 people. It's actually ridiculous. So I'm kind of like trying to kite around and trying to get to the Zyra that's behind. Then I'm getting the Gragas low, so he can't really fight me anymore. And Kassadin decides to come into the fight. So I'm fighting this Rammus. Then Nyla comes. And my team is kind of trying to follow up with me. I end up going down. But I think the Kassadin kills the Zyra there. He doesn't have a really entry to go back in. So that was me fighting people like alone. And then my team showing up kind of uncoordinated. And I'm not really able to get to the backline at first, so it didn't work a lot well. But you can see the power, the potential of this build. I was a little greedy. I probably shouldn't have done that. I should have just waited for my team to come in first, and then we could fight. And they're going to get Baron off of that. But that was me just kind of testing the waters of this build and seeing what I can do. And Ezreal comes here. And he's kind of trying to stop them from doing Baron. And they're getting kind of low, so he's doing quite a good job at it, just poking away with his Qs. I'm on my way, trying to come back up here. He keeps poking down the Rammus. And Rammus doesn't have smite here. And Ezreal makes a beautiful play, landing the final last hit with his Q. Even though I think he goes down here. Yeah, he goes down. We're going to be able to get the dragon off of that. That was very well done. Oh no. While that was happening, Zyra and Gragas were getting dragon. So they got dragon, but we get the Baron buff, which is really nice. I'm gonna easily take down both of these guys. Gragas is trying to juke me here, but my Q is on such a short cooldown, he can't really run away from me. I missed my Q here. Yeah. So I dodged the Ahri charm there, which is really nice. And then I just turned on the Ahri. Who's ever in front of me, that's who I'm prioritizing, pretty much. I got my Q canceled there by the Gragas. And I'm still going in, still fighting. I'm trying to just get splash damage with my E on top of them. And as you can see, the only issue with this build is trying to get to the backline when you don't have your ultimate. So I didn't have my ultimate in that fight there. If I had it, I would probably have won that fight. Because all you need to do is press R on a squishy target, R, Q, E, and get them really low. And then they can't fight you anymore. And then you can just 1v2, 1v1, whoever's the front line is. Or you probably will even kill the backline with that combo. Oh, so Zyra makes a fatal mistake here. Trying to go in. Thinking Ezreal's alone. Ezreal's trying to kite away from the Rammus. I just respawn, making my way back to this fight. Looks like Kassadin's gonna go down as well. But I'm here, so I'm like, hey, we can fight here. I'm here now. And this Nyla foolishly walks into the bush right into my Q. And I go straight onto the Ahri. See how much damage I did with that one combo when I ulted the Ahri? Like, now she can't fight anymore. And I'm just soloing the Rammus by myself. Pretty much fighting 3 people by myself. And I'm just going to try to chase them down. Next target, Gragas. He runs away. They get away, unfortunately. Like I said, you got to be careful of your mana, because I'm getting low on mana now. But luckily, I got my red buff coming up. And the only issue is I can't reach people. I can't finish them off. But one thing that's going to really help me with that is this red buff right here that I'm about to pick up. And Ezreal can try to decide to greed for this, but he's like, my Vi is 10, 4, and 8. This guy is almost on his 4th item. So I'm just going to let him have it. You could argue that it's better on the Ezreal, but it's going to be really nice for me to have that red buff. I failed this Q over the wall here, but it's fine. I also failed the Q on the Ahri here, so I have to alter. And then we take down the Zyra. And now this Rammus is all alone by himself. I flash over to Q that Rammus. I probably should not have done that. I don't know what this is. Like, Zyra or Nyla should not go in there. She's all alone. She's got no front line. She's just dying with her team. I'm gonna clear this wave. Get minions pushing down mid lane. We got my team pushing down bot lane, and I'm pushing down mid. They're about to respawn soon, and Dragon is coming up, so I don't wanna foolishly die here. One thing about Vi, she's not great at sieges, because as soon as you commit with your Q or your ulti, like, you're in the fight. And if you're under tower, you're gonna be taking a lot of damage, so just secure the objectives that are on the map with the space that you create. Like, you get all this pressure, get mid and bot inhib. Alright, next objective is Dragon. If you want to siege, you kind of just want to hover around your AD carry, who has the ranged autos. And Ezreal makes a hasty flash E over the wall to live here for this Dragon fight that's coming. They kind of chase him here. But I'm waiting here, looking to get on the back line, and I go on the Ahri. And she dies. And the Rammus dies. And that's a free dragon right there. There's a common theme, like the enemy tries to commit on us, but I'm there, and when they do, I just wipe the floor with them. I'm 11, 4, and 13 at the moment. And Baron's coming up. We could decide to try to end here, or we can decide to just wait, get Baron, push top lane. I have to be careful. My mana is running low here. I can't stick around for too long. I got my ulti. I'm charging Q. I land the Q on the Nyla. Chunk her out. She flashes away. Ezreal tries to follow up with an ulti. Doesn't quite work out. Kassadin goes in. He ults out. Maokai goes in. He flashes out. And this is what I mean. Like, we're champions that we have to commit when we go in. The Maokai, Kassadin, Vi. So it's kind of hard for us to siege and end here. And I'm just sticking around back. I'm not really looking to fight here. There's the Baron up. There's no reason we can fight around Baron. I'm kind of pinging it too. I'm like, let's retreat. Just fight back at Baron. But Rammus oversteps, and now they're in our territory. I ult onto the Rammus. Go in the midst of 3 people. I kill the Ahri, but I go down. Had I had Death's Dance there, I would have survived, unfortunately. And the Nyla, she gets a quadra kill here. She's really strong. She's got her IE with her Lord Dominic's at this point. That's why I was kind of iffy about this fight. Like, it's kind of unrealistic in my eyes that we can end just considering our champion. Like, the only person who can really work the siege is the Ezreal. But we're going to be ready for this next fight. The enemy team can't really just run straight to Baron and start it, because 2 of their members are down, and also they've got waves pushed into their base, and they have to clear that out. Nyla's got another bounty. Now all I have to do is make sure that I CC lock up the Nyla, and I can probably kill her just on my own, as strong as she is. And I've got a Caulfield's Warhammer here. I think it might have been better to build the Ravenous Hydra. Or not Ravenous Hydra, sorry, Randuin's. Just to negate that crit damage. But Death's Dance works just nicely as well. She can't really burst me down, and I can continue the fight with my Conqueror stacked up. And we have Kassadin here prowling on the hunt for the Nyla, stacking up his ulti. And I'm looking for her too. I'm like, where did this guy go? She sees me on the ward. I'm up here, still looking for her. She's right there. I try to flash Q her, but I just missed her. Unfortunate. Rammus decides to try and fight here when Nyla's not here, so we're just chunking him down. Like, he can't really do much damage to us. Knocking him back into our team. He's so tanky though, and he doesn't quite go down. It's okay though, like having Rammus chunked is really nice because he can't go in anymore. The only problem is the Raka is low, so I noticed that. I'm like, I start basing, trying to give the indication of my team, hey, let me buy my last item, let Raka heal back up, and we can fight at the Baron. They start it, which is fine. Like, the enemy team has to go back and protect their base. This is quite a close game. Like, the gold is really close. The pressure is kind of favored on our side because we're just scaling past them. But the enemy team is making quite the effort. I'm here. Kassadin flashes on the Zyra, chasing her down. I think he kills them both here? Nyla kills the Raka in the midst of all of us, but I killed the Nyla. And it looks like Kassadin died as he was trying to chase. Alistair is going ham here. He's just running in. He wants to fight. Which I don't mind. Like, if we fight, we'll probably win here. So I turn on the Zyra here. She goes down. I missed the Q on the Gragas, unfortunately. I was wondering who I should go for. Then I turn on to the Rammus because he's attacking the Ezreal. And Rammus, now it's just a 2v1. Like, the Gragas can't really do anything. So we don't really have to go for Dragon. Like, we have an ending play here. We have Baron. I ult him. Trying to burst him down, see if we can get one more kill for the end of the game. And Ezreal takes him down and we win the game. Like, the power is so strong. I can't hate on the build. I probably am going to use this build to reach my rank again, which is Masters, and then try for Grandmasters this season. Honestly, thank you so much for teaching me about this build. It's me, Atto, and if you're watching, thanks as always. This is Klassicalkill out.